Welcome to the forecast. To my right, we have APAT and Alex. How you doing?
Hello, everybody.
And to my left, GW himself, Gary. How you doing?
Doing good.
This is the Wednesday Comics pod. Just give me Wednesday Comics forecast. This is forecasting the upcoming comics for 10/3/2018. That's the first Wednesday in the month of October. My name is Marvin. Month of October, weatherman there, it gets a little chilly, but I heard on Wednesday the sun's going to come out and say, hey, go get your books. I'll give you an 80-degree day, and then the rest of the week it's going to be cold. Why is that?
Well, I say if I'm looking at right now, tomorrow's going to be 65, could be a little rainy, 83 on Wednesday, 47 on Thursday, and then 50 is the rest of the week.
Is it because, Alex, I predicted this? On Sunday, we were leaving SuperCon 2018, and I said, man, it's cold out here. But you know what they say, right? Cold today, hot tamale, and guess what? Hot tamale on Thursday. Or from Wednesday, excuse me. I was right. Just admit it. Image Comics, here we go. Blackbird #1. This is Sam Humphries, Jen Bartel, a new ongoing series from fan favorite writer Sam Humphries and red hot artist Jen Bartel in this neo-noir fantasy. Nia Rodriguez is positive that a secret magic world ruled by ruthless cabals is hiding just beneath the veneer of Los Angeles. The problem? Everyone thinks she's crazy. The bigger problem? She's not crazy. She's right. Can she unravel the mystery before the great beast catches up with her? Garrett, you were talking about before the podcast. This is one you're looking forward to a lot. Blackbird, what do we think?
I think the last book that Sam Humphries did, Green Lanterns, was so incredible that I can't wait for Blackbird. Like, I think Sam Humphries has become one of my favorite writers. Like, I haven't read anything by him. I mean, I'm sure I know you guys have read some stuff from him in the past, I think, but for me, I haven't read anything before Green Lanterns that he wrote. And I'm super pumped for Blackbird, and the art looks amazing. Like, I think if there's a book on the shelf this week, this one's going to look the best. Well, it's up against Paper Girls with Cliff Chang, but I know that at least the story will make sense. So, very excited for Blackbird. Definitely my pick of the week and most anticipated.
Dead Rabbit #1, Jerry Dugan, John McCree. Back in the 90s, Dead Rabbit was a prolific Boston stick-up man and hoodlum until he took down one last big score and disappeared. Nobody ever discovered the truth. He retired to be with the love of his life. Now he's back in the mass to save her, but no one, not his wife, the mafia, or the cops, is happy he's out of retirement. Dead Rabbit, the man who says he's descended from one of the original gangs of New York City, get on board with the oversized first issue of an all-new ongoing series for mature readers. Alex, we're talking about a little Jerry Dugan before the podcast. You're saying he's kind of hit and miss. What do you think about the concept of Dead Rabbit?
The idea is good. Actually, it almost sounds, I'm interested in it. It's just, am I willing to dip my foot in? I'm not sure. I've got a slower, smaller week, so it's a possibility I may actually tempt myself and look at it. Dugan did a good job on Deadpool a couple years ago when he was starting over on the whatever reboot they were doing, and he was writing it for a long time. It was really strong. And like Garrett and I were talking before the show, Analog, it's at a break right now, but those first 5 issues are actually quite good. So, I mean, like I said, hit or miss for me. I don't get everything he puts out, but this is an interesting book, at least for me.
Die #3. This is Robert Kirkman, Scott Gimble, Chris Berman, and Nathan Faber. Nothing solicited. I can't even see the cover of this thing. Garrett, what do you think? Die #3.
I think that Die looks. They have to come up with another name of that, like Die 3 or something. I think it looks amazing. Chris Burnham, a big fan of his art. The story, I think, is it's finding its way out. I mean, it's only been 2 issues so far. It's picking up, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm also wondering what it's doing. So, very great to look at, but is the story worth it? That's what I'm coming to find out, and I don't even know if this is a mini, because it was kind of a surprise announcement, like things like that. So, I don't know. I mean, I really enjoy it. I enjoy it for the art. The story's growing on me, but there's not really much of a story that, I don't know, it's hard to say. It's like there's not really a plot.
I think Die 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 is a book that I want to really enjoy, but I'm not sure I do. That I'm willing to give it that first arc to see what this thought-provoking story may be, and who knows, it may not actually be thought-provoking. It may literally be what the title tells me: Die Die Die. I think that I think I'm going to be dropping this book actually. Like even talking to you guys about it, like I could give two craps unless the writing, like the story gets stronger for me. The art's fine. That's not, I mean, it's issue 1 and 2 are great. It's bloodier than I was actually anticipating, but.
Oh, really? A book called Die 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 is bloodier than you thought it would be?
I don't know. There's, you know what? There's some book like Saga.
Yeah.
It's one of those books that you're like, oh, I don't know. I mean, yes, this title pretty much tells you there's death, but it also doesn't tell you bloody, bloody, bloody. A lot of people can die. It doesn't necessarily mean there's always blood.
Aaron Boy is number 1 of 5. This is DJ Kirkbride, Nikos Kotis. In the future, if you can't find a decent job, you run errands, the dangerous, often illegal kind. 30-year-old Jace Lopez is a hard-worn scoundrel in a lifelong solo act until he's saddled with his 13-year-old half-brother, Tonk, full-time. Now Jace has 2 mouths to feed while evading the law, running from aliens and jumping off skyscrapers. The only thing weirder than the vastness of space is family, so there's a new Image number 1. It's a miniseries. Go ahead and pick that up if that sounds interesting to you. Here's another one. It's the week of the ones for Image Comics. Juke Joint number 1, T. Franklin and Athelia Martinez team up for a timely horror series from the Deep South. Mahalia runs the hottest spot in all 1950s New Orleans, or not. The Juke Chief keeps the jazz popping, people bopping, and the women are to die for.
Are you dying over there?
There are one rule. What, not? There's only one rule. Keep your hands to yourself. But some men think rules don't apply to them. And Mahalia and her coven of slain women enjoy reminding them they most certainly do. There you go. There's a new Image 1. Another miniseries, 5-issue miniseries. You want to get that from Image Comics. Magic Order number 4 of 6. This is Mark Miller, Olivia Coppell, Cordelia and Reagan bargain for Madame Albany to preserve what's left of the Magic Order while she sets out to slaughter their brother Gabriel. Meanwhile, the Horogolium, a monster let loose from the 4th dimension, is shredding time and destroying human lives. Alex, what do you think? Magic Order number 4.
Last issue was a bloody, 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 bloody issue. At least the last couple pages were. The new, what's the assassin's name? The Venetian? Is that his name?
I think so.
Okay, anyway, the assassin, freaking terrifying. I would hate to run into him anytime, day or night. Good book. I'm hoping that it's a strong 6 issues. Mark Miller's generally pretty good writer, but I get kind of weary. I've had some of his 6-issue runs that kind of leave me wanting a little bit more, like Huck. Huck was a good book, but the way it went was a little different than I was expecting. And I've had other books like Jupiter's Legacy and Jupiter's Circle where they're strong all the way through. So I'm open to see how it goes, but we're in that halfway point. Was the first half super strong and this last half going to be weak? Or are we going to keep on that trend and be an amazing 6-issue run for Netflix?
Paper Girls number 25, Brian K. Vaughan, Cliff Chang. End of the story arc in another explosive season finale. The time-traveling Paper Girls' deepest wishes collide with their greatest fears. Paper Girls take another break here to the last of Brian K. Vaughan. He's off of Saga, so we're going to have a little Brian K. Vaughan break, I guess. What do you think of Paper Girls number 25, Garrett?
I think this book's finally hit its stride, and it's fun every issue. Not saying that it wasn't fun in the past, but I think all three of us finally are like, okay, this isn't a book about continuity. It's more of a book about these characters. And once you finally figure that aspect of the story out, it becomes very, very enjoyable. So, especially at the cliffhanger of last issue, super looking forward to this. And from that cover, it looks like something big is going to happen.
For the record, 3 dudes that read a lot of comics. It took us 25 issues to figure out this was a character book and not a plot book.
Wow. Explain to me the plot of this book, and then you get,
I know, I'm just saying that
comic.
3 different dudes who read way different style of how we read is different. Took us 25 issues for you to tell us that it's not about the plot. It's about the characters. Just made me laugh outside.
Dark Horse Comics. Here we go. Death Orb #1 and you #1. Also, here we go. Ryan Ferrari, Chris O'Halloran, Alejandro Aragon on the art. Writer and axe-wielding wasteland survivor, carves a bloody path across a war-torn North America, ruled over by the Lords, the mysterious father, and their cult followers as he searches for his abducted wife and child. Information from one of his father's hired mercenaries can lead Ryder to his family. The Lords don't take him out first. Is from the creator of Dave. Hey, you got Dave, Alex. Marvel's Secret Wars Battleworld, a fast-paced Magna-style action and road warrior setting. That actually sounds pretty good. So far I don't have a big week, so that might be something you pick up. The art looks fantastic. Dave was good, right, Alex?
I only got, I think, like the 3 issues. I wasn't impressed, but
okay.
It wasn't my style.
So pick that up at #1 if you're looking forward to like some post-apocalyptic revenge story. Umbrella Academy, Hotel Oblivion #1. This is Gerard Way and Nick Filari and Gabriel Ba. Faced with the increasing number of lunatics with superpowers, eager to face off with his own wonderkind brood, Sir Reginald Hargreaves develops the ultimate solution. Now, just a few years after Hargreaves' death, his Umbrella Academy is scattered. #5 is a hired gun. Kraken is stalking big game. Rumor is dealing with the wreckage of her own marriage. A run-ton spaceboy runs around the streets of Tokyo. Vanya continues her physical therapy after being shot in the head, and no one wants to even mention Seance until issue 2, with a Netflix series soon to debut. The award-winning and best-selling superhero series returns, stranger than ever, and their past is coming back to haunt them. So this is Umbrella Academy, which we reviewed the first trade on as our book club. Garrett, what do you think? Umbrella Academy coming back here?
I think, I haven't read the second volume of this book. I did really enjoy the first one. I'm sure if I was all caught up, I'd be more excited for this. But seeing as I am not, I won't be picking this up. But definitely look forward to the collection. And hopefully the sequel's great, and that'll get me amped for this volume coming out.
Sam, the other way. I haven't even read Volume 2, and I'm super amped for Volume 3 to come out. Loved Volume 1. Thought it was amazing. Actually read it twice just for the show. And I can't wait to read Volume 2. Cannot wait to pick up this issue.
Here we go. IDW Batman the Max #1. Sam Keith and Sam Keith. So Sam Keith, the original artist and creator of the Max, coming to do a Batman Max story, Arkham Dreams. So that's coming out if you're interested in that mini, which actually Sam Keith is a great artist. He is going to be, we'll mention Sam Keith this week in our show because he's one of the artists of Sandman Nocturnals. What is it? Preludes and Nocturnals? We'll be reading
Preludes and Nocturnes.
TMNT Macro Series #1, Donatello, Paul Allaire, Bram Revel, and David Peterson. TMNT returns to its roots with new spotlights on individual turtles, but this time they're extra large. Donatello understands that more is at stake than his brothers realize. In order to prepare for the coming conflict, Don will aim to repair his relationship with his mentor, Harold, and the malicious robotic counterpart, Metalhead. The new Macro series will set up individual turtles for the climactic story leading into TMNT #100. Alex, what do you think? This is an oversized $7.99 focused on one character. Is this something you are excited for?
Oh, hell yeah. So they had done a villains, they'd done another superhero or Friends of the Turtles runs a couple years ago, actually. And they were so good because you got to see the Turtles do their own thing. And actually the Donatello was probably the best issue of the single Turtle run. So yeah, the Raph one was him being, kind of a dick. He was going up against Alapex. Donnie was doing his own sciencey thing. Leo is on his own, just trying to figure out how to be a leader, and he ends up fighting the Foot. These books are so great, and to know that it's oversized, I love those Peterson covers. I think he does an amazing artistry for the Turtles, so I'm all for this, and I can't wait for the other issues to come out.
Timothy Mackerel series. So there you go. There's that. Batman number 56. This is Tom King and Tony S. Daniel. The Dark Knight's looking to drop both the hammer and sickle on KJ Beast, whose rampage across Gotham City takes a toll.
KG.
What'd I say?
You keep seeing KJ.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
take a toll.
KJ Beast.
Take a toll on Nightwing when he's injured in the fray, blaming him for his ward's fate. Batman gets grimmer than usual and vows to take out the Russian assassin down like the Berlin Wall. And even Gotham City's ready for that much violence. The street will run red like borscht if the Dark Knight gets his way against the Soviet scourge. Garrett, what do you think, KJ Beast?
Did it again.
On purpose. Thanks for getting comedy.
First time for doing it on purpose. So I loved Batman issue 4, and I'm so excited to see what happens in this issue. Something happened to one of our beloved characters, and it's going to change his life forever. I don't want to get spoilers, but it's a very exciting turning point in this story, and I think things are going to get more amped up from here.
All right. Green Arrow number 45. This is Heroes in Crisis tie-in. The Julie Benson, Shauna Benson team with Javier Fernandez, Alex Maleev cover. Garrett, what do you think, Green Arrow? How's it going so far?
I'm really enjoying Green Arrow. I think the Bensons are doing a great job. It's very character-focused. It's got a lot of people in Green Arrow's wheelhouse, like a lot of Black Canary's there. His sister Emiko's there. Fife, you got the Merlins involved. You got a lot of people from Star City involved. So it's a very exciting comic right now. And I also just noticed, did you notice that all these comics are coming out with foils this month? That's
foils
pretty cool.
And blanks. I don't know what that is.
I think that's like a shiny cover, I would imagine. Like maybe it's like a...
No, not that. I said there's foil covers and blank covers. I don't know why that is.
Oh.
Why is the blank covers number ones?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any blank covers on here, but...
The Batman one has one.
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Oh,
maybe it's just the Trinity.
It says 24-hour Comics Day. Oh, celebrate 24-hour Comics Day with the Batman blank comic. You can write and draw your very own adventure, The Dark Knight. So basically they're blanks because you can make your own comic. It's not the actual issue.
Justice number 2, number 35, Tom Taylor, Bruno Rindaldo, Juan Everan, Daniel Sampri, Garrett Howells, and Justice Subin.
Justin 2 has been great, and it's almost over, so there's only a couple issues left.
How many issues total?
It's issue 35. I don't know when. It's all digital. It's digitally complete, so I don't know how many issues are left in print.
Oh, I see. So digitally it's done already?
Yeah, digitally it's done already.
Okay. Justice League number 9, Drown Earth tie-in. The road to Drown Earth, Scott Snyder, Jorge Jimenez. Superman and Batman can't agree on how to put back the moon, the one that went missing in issue 1. I don't remember that. On the other hand, Wonder Woman and Aquaman have faith in each other, working together on a new addition to the Hall of Justice. Marsh and Manhunter take Hawker under his wing to test out the limits of her recently broken wing. And Flash and Green Lantern get up some hijinks in the Hall's cafeteria. Can you say super food fight? Alex, what do you think? JL number 9.
That whole thing you just told me sounds horrible. I liked issue 8, actually. Issue 8 was the strongest issue I've read from the Justice League, and I think a lot of it had to do with Haneen art, where actually the art got to tell the story instead of a lot of Scott Snyder word bubbles. I'm a little weary about this book, and I've said it a lot, and I don't know if it's I've realized it's not just the Justice League team that may not be my team. It's just there's something about these separate characters that I like that as a team I don't care for them. So I will most likely get this issue just to see. I don't know. I'm so weary, and I don't want to drop it, but I also want to get rid of it because it's just not living up to my expectations.
I completely agree. The art teams for this book are incredible. The story, who the fuck knows what's happening right now?
Nightwing number 50, Ben Percy, Chris Mooneyham, Travis Moore, Mike Perkins on that cover. Night Terrors begins here. The big issue number 50 kicks off an epic 4-part story that brings together critical moments of fear and doubt from the past and present. A young Dick Grayson hopes to escape the shadow of the Bat and earn the title of Nightwing, while an older Dick Grayson must deal with a blow he did not see coming. Common enemy unites the timelines, the Scarecrow, as you've never seen him before. This story goes deep into the mythology and nightmarish development of Dr. Jonathan Kane. Garrett, what do you think, Ben Percy, on issue 50 of Nightwing?
Well, I guess, spoilers, Nightwing's the one that got really hurt in the last Batman issue of 55. You can see there on the cover what kind of wound he suffered. So I think that's going to be very traumatic for Dick Grayson, and I think that's the perfect time for Ben Percy to go back and explore Dick Grayson's life, and I think after this 4 parts, we're going to get a very different Dick Grayson because, the happy-go-lucky Dick Grayson didn't have what happened on the cover here happen to him yet. So it's going to be a very different character, I think. I just really hope he doesn't lose himself, with this traumatic injury, but you just don't know what's going to happen. Like, you don't know how he's going to react to this insurmountable thing happening to him. So I'm very excited, and the unknown can be very exciting too because I literally don't know what's going to happen next.
Alex, what do you think, Nightwing?
I am that makes me kind of concerned. Is that, like you said, Garrett? He's this lighthearted superhero. What does a head wound do to you, and how much is it going to affect Dick Grayson's personality? Is he going to start becoming more of a Bruce and be brooding and upset and almost not necessarily go past the line, but Dick Grayson never had that mentality of let's see how many bones we can break and for justice reasons. So I don't know. That's a big jump to take with this character, to have this fun character perhaps change his ways and become more serious, and that's heavy on the heart.
It is, but also, I think this is a decision made by Tom King and Ben Percy, and I think they wouldn't have made it if it wasn't meant for great storytelling. So I think our Dick Grayson's still going to be there, but he's just going to have, a hero's never going to always just have happy times, and that's never happened in Dick Grayson's life either, and he always puts a smile on, even though bad things happen to him. But I still think this is going to be a longer road back to that happy-go-lucky Dick that we know and love, Grayson.
But I guess my question is, how much are the teams willing to sacrifice a character that everybody likes and loves for storytelling?
I know, but we said the same thing with when he started with Batman,
I know.
We were like, this is not Batman, this is not the Batman, and now, what do we say now? Like, this is the best Batman ever written.
But it's not Tom King writing it. He had the introduction in Batman, but it's a Nightwing by Percy now. It's, can Percy take that change? And I realize they probably had a meeting and discussed it, but it makes me weary what's going to happen. And it makes me weary on someone like you, Garrett, who loves Dick Grayson. How are you going to handle the character change? Because I'd hate for DC to lose readers because, well, this isn't the Dick Grayson I get in real life. Bad things happen. Your personality changes. You go through this trauma. You need to either get back to where you used to be or do your best to do so, or you change because you're no longer that same person, what you've gone through. So I'm just weary. How alienated are some of the readers going to be to have a new Dick Grayson?
I don't read this book, but I think maybe that's the purpose of it, being like it does change him and how does he get back to how he used to be? Like, that's the reason you get the book, is to see him fight through it and come back. It's a story about him becoming who he's supposed to be, rising up from this tragedy and becoming that person again. Wonder Woman and JL Dark Witching Hour #1. James Tinian IV. Jesus Moreno. Just in time for Halloween, it's the Witching Hour, a 5-part weekly event that will rewrite the future of DC's magical heroes. Hykek, the witch goddess of magic, always knew a day would come when the monster stole her magic from would return. Now she must activate the witch marks, humans from which she secreted vast stores of power. Who wrote this? And the most powerful of the witch marked, Wonder Woman. James Tinian IV, Jesus. That is a good team. That does not sound good to me, and it's a weekly series. I love everybody involved in this book. It's besides the main villain. I don't know who that is. Everybody else involved with it. This is like for me, but at $4.99 in a weekly series, I'm not sure if that's my everything about it. Besides who's in it in the creative team is not making me want to get that book. So.
Nah, I'm not. What's the point of having your monthly book if you need a complimentary monthly book or a weekly book to help tell the story in the monthly book? No way am I supporting that sales tactic.
I don't think it's in. Is it tied in at all? Is that person in the other book?
Well, Wonder Woman and the Justice League Dark. I don't know.
Well, they are, yes, but I think it's just supposed to be like a side thing. I don't think it's supposed to be, actually telling that story. It sounds like it's just JL and Justice League Dark teaming up together. That wasn't. Here we go, Marvel Comics. I'm looking through here, and I think the only thing, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, Cosmic Ghost Rider #4. Donny Cates, Dylan Burden, Jeff Shaw on the cover. The writer's determined to save the universe by ridding it of its greatest threat that ever existed, and that's why he's kidnapped Thanos to raise him right. How's that going to work out? He's about to learn. Alex, what do you think of Cosmic Ghost Rider?
I think Donny Cates is such a strong writer, and in fact, I actually picked up a new book from Vault this week in Reactor just to get more Donny Cates in my life. So I'm amped for this book, and I know that Donny can handle a 5-issue run. He's been showing us for the last year that the small run, less than 10 issues long, is his bread and butter. So, and this is a character he created. So by all means, show me the ways of Cosmic Ghost Rider.
I found a couple more here. Deadpool #5, Scotty Young, Scott Hepburn. Gary, get this book, right? How's it been?
I mean, so you're going to have to say, I was looking at a preview. I was trying to think of which one you said.
Deadpool 5 is, I love Deadpool. I think Scotty Young is one of the best writers for Deadpool. 1 through 3, amazing. Last issue, issue 4. We went to Weird World. Excellent. And when you look at this cover, I'm so disgusted looking at Wade's destroyed, burnt, ripped up face. Bring it. I'm ready for this book.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, it's really funny. The first couple issues were one-shots. And now there's like a small story going on right now. It's fun because he's like pissing off all the Avengers. And I think that's what makes it really hilarious and enjoyable. And it's like, they're not these huge, big stories that have to be, who did it last? Was it Jerry Dugan that did like, what was it? $10 issues that have 3 comics. I don't know, just big event things. And I think Deadpool isn't really a big event guy. Like, he's just somebody that just goes on adventures, does things for money, and has a blast doing it.
Death of the Inhumans, #4 of 5. Donny Cates, Ariel Olvetti, Carrie Andrews on the cover. Alex has been saying for weeks, I don't know if he said it on the show or just said it off the show to me, that Death of Inhumans is fantastic. Alex, is that correct?
I may not be saying it on the Wednesday comic show, but I say it on the forecast every time it comes up. Death of the Inhumans, Donny Cates again. 5-issue run. I love this book. The last issue, I found out Black Bolt, fucking badass. Like, he kicks some major ass, does a little murdering. It's good. I love this. I'm not an Inhumans person at all, but I'm all for Donny Cates, and I think I'm blown away. This book has been so good. I've been telling Marvin for the last 3 months to get it. He promises me he's going to read it, and I think he's full of shit.
Caught up already, boy.
Bull. Even you're caught up on that like you're a descender.
The rest of Marvel, I don't know. We got some What If books here. So if you like those books, What If Spider-Man #1, What If X-Men #1, and What If Black Magneto? Oh, X-Men Black Magneto #1. That's coming out here.
Superior Octopus is coming out.
Oh, is it? Where did I miss that at?
The S's.
Oh, there we go. Superior. I guess the SG threw me off. I don't know what that means. Superior Octopus #1. This is Crystal Gage, Mike Hawthorne. The Doc October starts here in Spider-Gam tie-in. This is basically, if you like Superior Spider-Man, here you go. He's the Superior Octopus. Crystal Gage and Mike Hawthorne will change the way you look at superhero comics. Doc Ock has set up shop as San Francisco's protector, but you won't believe his methods. Some of Audio Octavius' new superhero strategies may make Spider-Man regret letting him free, but the good doctor swears that he's the superior octopus.
Is your brother getting this, Garrett?
I'm not sure. He hasn't really mentioned it. I mean, he was a big fan of Superior Octopus, or Superior Spider-Man, but I don't know. He's a big fan of Crystal Gage as a writer, also, so I think he'd be definitely in the running for it. I haven't seen anything else that he's getting this week, unless it's like What If Spider-Man. So I think he'll definitely check it out.
It's one of those books that I'm actually interested in, but I don't know if it's worth my time getting into it.
Crystal Gage is a good writer. So actually, I was going to say, I checked the list. I have 4 things to pick up. Maybe this is number 5. I don't know. It looks good. I just read that concept, San Francisco, so at least we don't have him doubling up in New York. That's a good start right there. And the costume looks pretty cool. I like the look of the costume. It's not just a take on, I mean, it looks like Spider-Man, but it also looks like the gray and the green. That's a nice little take on it. It at least doesn't look like, trying to mimic Spider-Man and the same color scheme. And the character itself, like Superior Spider-Man, was like the only thing that I loved about Dan Slott's run. So somebody else taking that character and running with it. Hey, maybe I'll pick it up. We'll see. Alex, what do you think? What is going to be your pick this week?
My pick would probably be Umbrella Academy #1. I know I haven't caught up on volume 2 yet, but I'm still excited for this book to be coming back out, and to pick it up in issues is something I love to do. I love getting issues of books.
Garrett, what do you think?
I'm thinking Blackbird #1. Big fan of Sam Humphries. Big fan of. I've read the preview for Blackbird, and it looked amazing. So I'm very excited to read that book.
And I'm looking super forward to that. The Inhumans #4 or 5. Fantastic work so far. 3 issues in. No, Batman probably. That last Batman issue was probably, I believe I said it in private in the text message to you guys, one of the best single issues. I mean, coming off of that amazing arc that we had with Mr. Freeze, and then we have that one issue with KG Beast that they had 9-panel grids. It was a story in which, like, I don't know, the whole way it was set up, I just loved it. I don't know what it was about it. Like, it felt like almost like a Breaking Bad episode along with Batman. Like, it was fun when the Batman sees Nightwing, lighthearted, and then we cut to this guy who's coming to town. He has a mission, and you're like, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And doesn't even he's not really worried about anything. He has all the confidence in the world, and he goes up to the roof and shoots Nightwing in the head, and that's it. Like, that's his job, and he does his job. And the whole thing about it was just like, wow. Like, I don't know, the way he was set up, the pacing and everything. Tom King, amazing. I'm looking forward to number 56. Alex, we talked about this weather earlier in the show. It's up, it's down. It's up, it's down. What do we look forward to in this the climate of the fall this year?
Roller coasters. That's what you're looking forward to. Where we live in the Midwest, it could be hot one day, it could be chilly the next day, it can rain for 4 days straight, it can snow. You know what? It could snow. Literally just putting it out there. It could snow. So you never know what you're getting into. It's kind of like a box of chocolates after it's been purchased 3 days after Valentine's Day. You're not sure if it's literally been opened or, returned, or who's eaten half the candy or what else has found that candy. You're just kind of going to go outside, probably bring a sweatshirt, maybe wear some sweatpants. Honestly, probably just don't wear your shorts because you never know what you're going to get into. Be safe out there. Those leaves, There's a lot of squirrels out right now burying nuts and burying
What
stuff.
the fuck are you
They like to chuck it. I'm just telling you, watch out for those
Yeah.
squirrels. They can throw things from their tree, hit you in the head, put you in a coma. Be safe. You know what? Bring an umbrella.
You know, I saw a cartoon one time. It's called The Sword and the Stone. Have you ever seen it, Alex? And this,
I've seen it, yeah.
Was it Merlin turned to a squirrel? Or was it Arthur himself? One of them turned to a squirrel, and the other squirrel, you know, they fell in love, but he couldn't stay that way forever, and she was really disappointed. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what I'm telling you. Don't make those
Don't
squirrels
trust
sad.
squirrels. Garrett, those roads out there, I know squirrels like to cross them. What do you think about them?
I think squirrels are fucked this week. If they try to cross that road, fans get into their comic book shops to get those comics, going to run right over them. Unless they get safe on those little potholes, but as long as the tire doesn't go over it.
Oh, jeez.
But anyways, so the potholes are good for once.
Squirrels.
But yeah, lots of great books coming out. Batman, like they're all in the B's too. Batman, Blackbird. Do I digress? I mean,
2 books.
Too. Yeah, new books. But yeah, it's a great week of comics. Not a quantity week, but a very high quality week, and that's what we look for as comic book fans. So very excited for this week. Definitely want to get there at a decent time.
Thank you, everybody who came to our live show at SuperCon 2018, Return of the Con. It was fantastic. For everybody that was there, thank you for coming. For everybody who couldn't make it, don't worry. There's a episode I'm working on now from interviews I did at the show, and also me and Alex at the end of the last day sat down for a little pop-up podcast, and we talked about some things while we sat at a table while they tried to run us over with the car next door. So look forward to that, but also make sure, if you missed it, next year, we've already been asked to come back, so I think I speak for all of us in saying it is going to happen. SuperCon 2019 Wrath of the Con. So go to supercon.com around the same time next year and check it out. I'm sure you'll hear about it from us. Thank you for everybody who was on the show. RootsOfTheSwampThing.com's John Boylan. A Comic Book Looks Tom Devine. Comic Book Genie himself, Mikey Martinez. Champions Comics, Dylan Jacobson. And the legend himself, Phil Hester. That was on the show. Oh, excuse me. Hashtag guest host one also. The legend himself, Phil Hester, on the show. Fantastic. Phil is probably one of the most genuine, nice creators I've ever met in my life. He was really nice to us. He had a sharp tongue. He made sure that we all knew that, he could be on this freaking show. The way we treat each other on this show, he was ready to go.
Oh, he'd fit right in.
I think after he saw what we were like to each other on Friday night, the rest of that weekend, if he could take a cheap shot, he took it.
So thank you, Phil. Thank you for coming to Sioux Falls, for driving up here, and I hope you had a good time. Thank you to everybody who listens. Yeah,
Roots of the Swamp Thing.
Everybody else who's on the show, but also thank you to everybody who listens to the show and supports it. If you came and saw us, if you tweet at us, retweet, whatever you do out there to support us, I just want to say thank you. And make sure that it's getting close to Thanksgiving. We're going to make us cry in a podcast coming up soon, but I just want to say thank you to everybody. Go ahead, Alex. Garrett.
What?
Oh, no.
Ghost? Bruce Willis? What?
Garrett breathed really hard, so that he's going to talk.
I didn't breathe really hard.
For Wednesday Comics, I've been Marvin.
I'm Alex.
I'm Garrett.
Hey, everyone. Be safe and keep reading those books.